Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Imagine That Gaming. Today I'm bringing you a smart Exp storage system. It won't do your math homework, it won't do your taxes, and it can't tell you the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It will, however, keep track of how many chestfuls of potatoes each smoker has cooked to give you an exact amount of experience to each module. Now, I would not call myself a Redstone genius, but I am pretty proud of this build. Now, this may look massive and intimidating, but each of these modules, like this one, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all designed the same, and all you need to do is learn how to build at least one. Then you can replicate these as many times as you want, although I would keep them within a vicinity, and I'll show you more about that too. There are components to this video that will not be covered in this tutorial, like how to make this massive potato farm. I'll kind of show you up there, which I think I stole either from Prowl or, well, I didn't steal. I copied, and I'm giving credit to either Prowl or it was Silent Whisper. I can't remember. I've seen both of theirs. They have variations that are really similar, and I'll show you those here in a moment. I'm not going to exactly show you how to connect potatoes to your modules. It's kind of free for you to figure that part out on your own, but I'll show you how I did mine just so you have an idea. You can kind of figure out your own how to set that up, and you're going to need a good fuel source for this. I'm using an infinite lava fuel to fill up the buckets, and I'll show you more of that later, but I'm not going to be showing you how to do a lava farm. You could use maybe a bamboo farm, something for that constant infinite fuel, and you'll understand why you're going to need a lot and why I recommend setting up a lava farm somewhere to the side. While this tutorial is for one module, I do recommend, like I say, at least 4. You can set it up in the pattern I have, and each of those corners you could probably even put one more. So, make them over time, start with the 1, and I'm going to cover why you want 4 modules.
For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go.
So why may you want 4 modules and not just the 1? Well, 1 baked potato gives you 0.35 experience. 1 stack of baked potatoes will give you 22.4 experience. 1 chest is 604.8 experience. 3 chests is 1,814.4 experience, or 1 smoker module's worth. So 4 modules will give you 7,257.6 experience, and that will take you well over level 50. Now, to give you an idea of how much experience each module will give you, I'm going to switch over here to survival mode, and I'm going to take the potatoes from each of these different smokers. I have let this machine run quite a few. One of these I think that one over there, I don't think I fully reset that one, so it may not give as much experience, but each one does have 2 modules, so I'm just going to take these right here and level 33. Come over to this one, level 43. Just on 2 modules alone, I'm already at level 43, and that will take care of plenty of enchanting needs. But further along, let's take it from module 3. We don't need these right here. Level 50. And like I said, I think this one, I didn't quite have it reset, but it should still give us quite a bit of experience. 54. So there you have it, folks. 4 modules brought me well over to level 54. But why do you need 4? Why do you need 4 modules? Let me explain just a little bit further. Okay, so to understand a little bit more of why this won't be a good idea to repair your tools with, or why you're going to want more than 1 module, each smoker will cook a potato 1 every 5 seconds. With 64 in a stack, that's 1 stack every 320 seconds, 1 single chest every 8,640 seconds, which is 144 minutes per chest, or 432 minutes per 3 chests, and that's 7.2 hours roughly, give or take a few minutes, per module. So while 1 module is great, 4 is definitely better, and you're going to get a lot more reserved and saved up over time. And so while this won't replace a good experience farm for like repairing tools, like a gold farm or something like that, this will store them up in these modules, and you can come and take them at any point in time. The potatoes will be in there. You just take the potatoes out, and you get all that experience. Now, before we dive into this video, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to cover everything explaining this farm, the mechanics, how it works, and all that, and then we will get into the tutorial to show you how to step-by-step build this farm. Well, the reason I'm calling it a smart XP storage machine is this machine is going to be counting exactly 3 chests, as this one over here that I've built, kind of just testing things out, it is filling up with the baked potatoes from this smoker right here. And as these potatoes fill up and as this chest is filled, it's going to trigger the system, causing an update, and push to update these pistons and circle these around. And then once the chest has got to this point right here, it's going to empty them, and you can convert those potatoes into bone meal, or you can save those baked potatoes however you prefer. That's completely up to you. This part of the machine, like I said, it's going to need a counter system, and that is what we're building. We're building a counter machine to determine once it's gotten to that 3rd chest and moving on to the 4th to do a complete reset. And with the reset, we will pull that module out and store it to the side. Then the counting machine starts all over on a new track. So now, one of the things that I've set up with each of these modules, and depending upon how you set yours up, if you go with the lava buckets, as I recommend, you'll see that I have chests here filled with the lava buckets, and quite a few. The reason you're going to want a lava farm, or make sure you have a really good bamboo farm, is the total items per chest is 1,728, and per 3, that's 5,184 items, or potatoes that'll be cooked total. 1 coal will cook 8 items, 1 block of coal will cook 50 items, 1 lava bucket will cook 100 items. So to cook 5,184 potatoes, we're going to need 51.84 or 52 lava buckets, or nearly a double chest, since each double chest can contain 54 slots. And that is why you're going to want a lava farm and a storage here with lots of lava buckets. Now, to fit each machine, you're going to want an area that is 19 by 19 and about 23 blocks tall. It will fit the majority of this machine. The parts that it will not contain is your feed line for the potatoes going into the machine, and it will not contain your storage of baked potatoes that you have coming out, or turning that into the bone meal as I've done, and then you will have quite a bit of bone meal stored up from this farm. The other parts that it will not be able to fit within the boundaries, and it depends on how you set it up, is I did a quick little stone generator to help push these smokers over, and I can easily just come over here, turn that off, break the stone out, place the new smokers in, turn it back on, and it will continue that way while I'm AFK. This is completely self-sustainable. To go over the potato farm that I've used to make sure I had enough potatoes to cover 4 modules, I followed, like I said, either I got it off of Silent Whisper or I got it off of Prowl. I follow both of them, and they've both set up different farms real similar to this. The only changes I've made is I put some beehives around the outside rings, and I didn't quite put 3 bees on each, I just put a bunch of bees out there. And of course we have the collection system here in the center with just 2 or 3 I think like 3 allays, picking up all the potatoes, dropping them in, and it's filled. It can't even, there's so many potatoes coming, the system can't even with the 4 modules, it can't keep up. Each little quadrant is like 3, it's I think 27 blocks, so all in all I think this is like 56 or 57 blocks wide, 57 blocks long, and I've got 1 villager per quadrant, and collection systems right here. So whenever you're AFKing, you will want to be somewhere within the vicinity, whether it's above or below this farm, to that note block, because the allays have a range of about 27 blocks, so they can extend out to these sides and then come back here dropping off the potatoes. So that is where you're going to want to AFK, which is why I have centered this farm above the 4 modules like this right here. And I can show you right here, the potatoes are just backed up. This is definitely more than efficient to handle 4 machines, and you could probably get away, like I said, putting 1 here, putting 1 there, putting 1 there. You can definitely get away with building more. Okay, let's get into this build. So, like I said, you do not have to turn this into bone meal, but I do recommend it, so that way you'll have a great bone meal farm, or you can just store the baked potatoes however you see fit. So we're going to go along with the idea that you're going to turn these into bone meal. So we'll set 2 hoppers right here. 1, 2. Let's place 2 composters. 1, 2. And we need 2 more hoppers. 1, 2. Now you're going to take a chest and you're going to place each chest like this, making sure that they're opposite and not connected. Okay, now we want to take 2 more hoppers. 1 and 1 here. Now let's take our obsidian and temporarily place a block right here, then 1 right here, 1 right here, and then 1 right here. And get rid of that one there. Now, depending upon the orientation of how you are laying this out, you're going to want to take a rail and place it right here. As long as it comes out this direction, then you're fine. But if it doesn't, you can just simply place one here to connect it and fix that part right there. Go ahead and break that. Let's put a fence post. This is the one and only time you're ever going to need a fence post. Put that right there. Now take a minecart hopper and place it here, and then you can kind of push that into the fence post, breaking the rail and breaking the fence post. And now this is set, and so as the potatoes are fed into this, then these 2 hoppers that it's sitting over will pull them at twice the speed. And that way we can ensure that the chest above here gets emptied out a lot faster, and you'll understand later when we're into the video why we want that to happen. Okay, now let's get into building the piston feeding mechanism that will help count the machines. Start by placing a piston right here facing upwards. Take a solid block of your choice. I'm going with the bright yellow to help show the colors. And we're going to place one right here. Place a piece of redstone dust here. Let's place a couple blocks temporarily right here and here. Break this one. Place an observer facing down like this. Break this block. Now we're going to want to place a piston right here. Alright, now let's go ahead and place our chest counting machine. We're going to start with a chest here, here, and here, and then this one right here, the redstone block. And what will happen is as the rotation goes, it's going to push these forward, then we'll push this down, push them over to the right, at the same time of also pushing these up. So now what we want is we want a temporary block here, 1 temporary block here, and 1 more here. Let's take a piston and face it downwards like this. Then break this block right here. So now let's place an observer block facing down like this, a piece of obsidian right here, and a redstone dust right there. Now what you're going to want to do is take an observer block and face it right into this piston here. Take a piece of obsidian, place 1 here and 1 right here. Then take a piston, come over this side right here, and place it facing this direction there. Now get yourself a dropper, place 1 right here, then place another observer facing that dispenser right here. Take a temporary block and place it right here. Place 1 and 2. Get rid of this, and actually place a target block right here. Now place a piece of redstone dust right there. And now this part is complete. Now what will happen is when this piston is activated, pushing these forward, this observer will detect that, pushing that piston down. That observer will detect this piston, which will activate this dispenser because it has a on-off state. It will then detect that, and then it will power this, activating this piston right here, pushing them forward. And then you will get 1 complete rotation. So now what we want to do is place a block right here. We want to place 1 temporarily here and 1 right here. And then we're going to bring this out one more here. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Place a piece of obsidian here and here. Now let's take a comparator, place it here, piece of redstone dust here, 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 and now let's take a redstone block and place it right here with a piece of redstone dust on top. Now what will happen is when this chest is completely full of baked potatoes, it will output the signal, activating this. Now, to make sure that everything is working good, let's place a block here and an observer block facing here. You do not need this as part of your machine. This is just to kind of help test to make sure everything is working, because we want to activate this block right here to cycle the system. So now let's just place a block right here. As you can see, it's gone all the way around. 2 and 1 more. And now that this redstone block is in the 4th position, let's break that We are now going to build the mechanism and part of the machine to detect when both those conditions are met. Now what we're going to want to do is place a temporary block right here, place one here, and place 1, 2, 3. Temporary here, one here, and we can get rid of both of those blocks right there. Let's place a heater here on 4-tick delay, here on 4-tick delay, piece of redstone dust here, and let's place a redstone torch right here. And then we actually want to go ahead and place one temporarily there, here, and there, and there. That block. Now we're going to kind of mirror that side right there. One here, here, and one right there. Okay, so now we're going to want to place a block right here, and one right here and here. Take a redstone comparator, place it right here, and a piece of redstone dust right there. Let's take one more block temporarily right here, and then place one here. Get rid of that. Place a redstone torch here. Let's come back over here and place redstone torch here. And we want to go ahead and temporarily put one there so we can bring these three here. Redstone torch here and a redstone dust here. And now what we have created is an AND gate. So as these rotate around, whenever this is empty, well, while this chest is full, it will power this and causing this to turn off. And once both of these are off, it will power this one, which will give us our AND. But both conditions have to be met, which means we need that redstone block right here in order to power this off right here. Because the redstone block in this position right here will not activate this line right there. And that is how we are able to detect what position these are in and whether the chests are empty or filled. And that will be our smart counting mechanism right there. Oops, and I almost forgot we want 3 redstone dust right here. And that way you can see, obviously, since that chest is empty, it is not powering this, so it's not inverting that torch. These stay powered from that torch right there, inverting this torch, which is part of the AND gate. And so once that chest is emptied, and like I said a moment ago, and that redstone block is right there, which you will see here shortly, and then both conditions will be met, and that will power this one on. So now we will finish building the mechanism that will power and trigger this right here. Now what you're going to want to do is take a dispenser block and place it right here. Place a water bucket inside. Get some temporary blocks. Place one here. Oops. Place one here. Yes, and here, here, and then right there. That way we can encase the water. Place one temporarily here to place an observer block facing this direction. And let's place an observer block facing this direction. Now let's place a block right here and a block right here. Now let's place a piece of redstone dust here and place a repeater here on 3-tick delay. Now I will quickly update and let you know that I have had to change this whole system around quite a few different times, and so this is not like my original design, it's not my second design, it's kind of like my third design. So originally I did have all these right here on the 4-tick delay. I do not know if that is still necessary. I just went ahead and kept them there. I haven't played around. You could obviously play around to see if the timings can be changed to make it faster, slower, or work, but I know for a fact that these settings right here will work. And I will say that I actually have updated that one to 4 ticks, and I don't know if that's necessary for 3 or 4, but I'm leaving it there. So let me give you a test run cycling this through to show you how this is all going to work. Place a block temporarily here. It's going to cycle it through, and it's going to completely break the system. Just like that. I mean, you can't have a video without breaking something, right? And so I didn't understand what broke, and earlier I had accidentally broke this block and I'd placed it with obsidian right here. And so yeah, let me fix this real quick, and we can get back on track. Let's push that block back up here, and we will push this right here, and that will cycle through. I was trying to figure out why this broke. I was like, everything was going so smooth, and then it just broke. So let me continue on. Like I said, you probably saw earlier at some point, you saw this and was confused, and that's because I'd accidentally broke it, and I thought it was obsidian. It was actually the piston, and And I also swapped this off camera. You didn't see that. So this is something, there we go. So now let's try this again. We'll break the block. It cycles through. And one more, the redstone. Once the redstone block is here and this chest is empty, which it'll do it right away, it will activate that system, and that way it will reset it. There we go. It is updated right there. As you can see, cycle it through one more time. And then one more. Redstone block is here. Both conditions are met, cycles through, and voila, it works. I mean, what's a redstone build without having like a mess up at some point, right? Because whoever builds the first time and gets it to run smoothly first time? Not me. How about you? Okay, so now that we have all this built, this is going to also trigger another part of the machine in order to help pull the module out. So to begin, let's place a sticky piston right here, server block facing in right here. Let's temporarily place one right here, and because we want one right there and one right there. Get rid of those two right here. Let's place a repeater here and place a piece of redstone dust there. Now we're going to want to bring this up 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 5, 6, and you can just kind of break those if you want. That was just to help bring this up. Okay, as we come up here, we're also now going to bring it up 2 blocks this direction. So place one here and one here. Redstone dust here and here. Bring it out one more. And now we're going to switch over to some white stained glass, or glass of it, your choice. I do recommend glass for this platform in order to keep the redstone from messing with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Supposed to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's continue on. So place redstone dust here and here, and we're going to place a redstone repeater here on 4-tick delay. Now let's place a block right here temporarily, or actually not temporarily, we want one right there, and we're going to place a repeater here on 4-tick delay and one right here, and do not change the ticks on that, just leave it alone. Now we want to place an observer block, let's see, nope, facing this direction right here. Take some redstone dust, and we want 1, 2, 1 here and 1 here, and we're going to place one here, here, and here. Let's place a solid block right here. Doesn't matter, just as long as it's a solid block. We're going to take 2 sticky pistons and place 1 and 2. Now you're going to want to use honey blocks for this right here. I think that what will happen if you try to use slime right here, then it might have issues with the activation or something with the redstone. I don't know, but you're going to need honey and slime anyway, so let's go ahead and put the 2 honey blocks here right there. So now let's take an observer block facing this one right here. Let's place it right here, and 4 more going this direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Piece of redstone dust on top. Now we're going to take you're going to want glazed terracotta at least on the end, but so go ahead and just use 3 pieces right here. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to place redstone repeaters on 4-tick delay. Right there. Alright, now let's temporarily place a block right here and place a slime block right here. Get rid of this one right there. What we're going to do is finish the conveyor belt system right here because these 2 honey blocks will extend forward. It'll grab the smoker module once it is done and attach it to the slime block right here. So we need to come out a total of 10, so that is, the slime block is 1, and use glazed terracotta because this way it will not get hung up on the rest of the system or break it. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you could probably leave this part empty, but I just kind of used it as a filler block to kind of let myself see. So we're going to go with 2 double rows of leaves, and so that's a total of 20 blocks right there. Now let's place 2 glazed terracotta right here. So now what we're going to want to do is take obsidian temporarily, a couple of blocks right here, place the obsidian block right here. Open that up right there. Let's place a piston right here. And now let's take some glazed terracotta right here. Now you don't have to use glazed terracotta on this one right here, but anything that touches this ring or where that slime block will come in contact, we want glazed terracotta or the leaves, as the glazed terracotta will not get drug with the slime block. The slime block will not be rotating or pushing these. It's the piston feed tape that is basically circling this around. So now let's come out here. 1, 2, and let's bring a temporary block right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to take a piston right here, place it there, and then an observer block, face it right here. And what it's going to do is detect whenever the slime block is right here, or the chest really, not the slime. And we're going to send a signal out here, put that on 4 ticks, here on 4 ticks, and then redstone dust here and here. And what we can do here is you can either use a redstone torch or a redstone block, either one works. Place one right here, and then a repeater going here. And now what will happen, whenever these are pushed forward, it just does that right there and pushes them up. Now what we're going to do is place a piece of glazed terracotta right here, get a couple of temporary blocks, 1, 2, and then we want obsidian right here, break those, place a piston right here. Now I'm using a different color terracotta just so I can kind of keep it separate. We want 4 right there with a repeater facing here, and then redstone dust here, here, here. And let's place some glazed terracotta here and here. You can use a torch or a block. It doesn't really matter, either one. Whichever you prefer the resources, so less resources, obviously, just use a torch. And place a repeater facing in that direction. Now, as you can see, what's going to happen is whenever it receives that block right there, it's just going to power that piston and push them forward. And we can just kind of keep pushing this because we need 10 more going all the way across right here. Now let's come over here and finish this side over here. Let's place a block temporarily here. And we want to come up 1, 2, break those right there. And we want a piston facing down like this direction right here. Now what we're going to do is place 2 barrels, one right here, one right here. And in this top barrel, let's place a stack of eggs or a block or anything. It doesn't really matter. We're going to be building a detection system, and I've tried this many different ways. And the best way to, it's almost like it primes the system because the comparator can read through the block. So it's best to have the eggs right here, and it kind of helps stop the system. So now what we're going to do is place a piece of glazed terracotta here and here. A redstone comparator right here, and see, it detects the eggs that are in this barrel. When this barrel is here and this barrel is right here, it will actually still detect the eggs through that barrel and be able to kind of like prime it in order to stop the piston feed tape. So this is the mechanism stopping point to let it know when to stop. Now let's finish off and place that right here, and that module will be completed. And we will start with this mechanism here, temporary block right here, and we want to place one right there. And let's come up one here, here, and here. You can break that one right there. Then we want to place a block right here, and we're going to place a redstone observer block right here. So redstone torch right there, and take a repeater, and let's do 4 ticks right there. Piece of redstone dust here, and now with that redstone dust there, we have a clock that will basically be activated and help keep this running and going. Now what we're going to do is come down here, place a piston right here, an obsidian block facing here, and then let's go 1, 2, 3, just any block, it doesn't matter. I just kind of like the glass. The redstone repeater here on 4 ticks, and let's place the redstone dust here in. Now we're going to come up here on this top side right here, place a piece of glass. Let's place a target block right here, a repeater here, and then place a redstone dust here and one right here. So now we're going to make sure that everything is working appropriately and working good. So let's take a smoker just to kind of show how this works. So we're going to have a smoker here, here, and should grab right there, because this is a double piston extender. It'll attach to the smoker and pull it forward and attach it here. So now let's get an observer block, something right there, face that one right here, and just like before, push it right here. And as you can see, everything is moving along. I did try to see if I could get this to go a little bit faster, but it just seemed to break every time I was doing that. And right here, as you can see, it's going to push the smoker right there, and now the smoker is completely done, and you can have some form of system or whatever you want in order to collect them and just keep them stored right there. It will continue pushing these forward up to 15 total. So if you are going to be AFK for several hours, or I guess days, then you're going to want to have something to help push them another direction as well. And as I said, the eggs are in this block right here. It's like it primes and then it stops right there. And now you know that everything is working just fine. Sometimes redstone works the way you want it to. Sometimes. Now that we've got all this in place, we're going to want to have the feed system in place. So I would recommend placing this one only temporarily, and place that in, just kind of like break it, remove it, or something, and that way until this is complete we don't have anything feeding into that chest. So we're going to come up, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now on this one right here, we're going to, on the 6th one, place one temporarily here, and let's place temporary here and here, so that way we can make these two facing forward right there, and go ahead and break those two right there. Let's place a block, anything right there, just temporarily. Come out here a little ways, and because we actually want these to face this direction right here, we want some hoppers facing this direction, and you're probably going to put a chest or something, it doesn't matter. What's going to happen is this is going to be collecting the buckets. Now this part right here, this part that we're going to build, is going to be like a sorting system to sort the baked potatoes and the empty lava buckets, provided that you are using a lava farm or a bunch of lava buckets to fuel this. If you have a bamboo farm that is fueling this, or something that the fuel is completely burned up and you don't have anything like buckets left over, then you do not need to build this sorting machine part right here. And you'll be able to just kind of move forward and see how you can do that, or just directly feed them from the smoker. So now from here, what we're going to want to do is lining up with these blocks right here, place 2 solid blocks right here. Let's go with 2 comparators right here. Now the sorting system I'm fixing to build right here is something that I got off of Silent Whisper's page. It's just it's a newer, updated sorting machine, sorting design, and I can't take credit. It's just something I added to this machine to help sort these. So now what we're going to do is just temporarily one right here. We want 2 solid blocks right here, and then I guess we could have left that temporarily there, because then we want 2 target blocks right here and here. I don't know if they were using the slabs right here, but I've been using the slabs, and I think that's what I watched. I don't remember for certain, but we're going to place 2 redstone dust here and here, and let's place glass here, and then 2 glass blocks right here. Redstone dust on those right there. Then let's take 2 redstone torches, place one here and here. And of course you're going to want to make sure that you're filtering this. So let's come in here. This side is going to be the potatoes. So we're going to place our stack of baked potatoes right here. And then of course we're going to put our sorting glass panes right there, and that way we will drop down to 41, and there we go. And the potatoes should come out right here, which is exactly why I mentioned not putting this in here to start. We don't want to activate this system or start messing with it just yet. We're wanting to get this all set up. So now we need to also put this for the filtering of the empty lava buckets, and of course 1, 2, 3, 4, and they should come out right here. Go. So this next little piece that I'm going to add in, it's probably unnecessary, but I've always just done it, or I've started doing it with some of my builds, just temporarily one right here, and we're going to take these hoppers and kind of like circle them around, break that one, put it right here. So as it's feeding in, it's just, I guess, my fear of that being overloaded with too many items. They can kind of circle around right here and then be grabbed up and pulled, just in case there's like too much going into the system. So now let's place another hopper right here, and we're going to place our smoker right here, and that is the 2 spots away in which it will be able to grab it and pull it whenever it is done. So now let's go ahead and put a bunch of smokers. Now this is where you're going to have your smoker feed system. Like I said, this doesn't necessarily fit within your 19 by 19 border. It just, however you want to do this, to come out just a bunch of furnaces, or I should say a bunch of smokers, just come out however far you want to go. What I recommend is actually creating a stone generator, and the stone generator will help push these forward, and you can just simply do this. Let's place a piston right here. You're going to want to kind of encase that with some blocks right here, here, and here. And then what we're going to do is come up here, and one more right there. If you want to see what's going on exactly, then you can actually just kind of replace those with some glass. So now let's go ahead and waterlog that piston right there, as I could see, and that is why you want to have some blocks right there in order to keep the water from falling out. Right there. Now let's take a lava bucket and place it on this top one right here, and it will create the, see, as you can see, it'll create the stone right here. And now what we're going to do is create a clock system for this right here. Let's place a block right here. Now what we're going to do is build a little redstone clock in order to keep this going. Block here, here, and here, and then we want one there. Place a piece of redstone dust here, a redstone torch right there, and a repeater on that 4 ticks. There we go. And then just place a redstone lever here so you can turn it off if you need in order to get in here. So let me show you what happens while this is activated. Like I said, whenever it pulls one of those smokers. Now you will want to make sure that this does not go past 15 blocks, because you cannot use a piston to push past 15 blocks. Like I said, once that is there, just kind of come in here, turn that off, and then you can replace with your smoker right there. As you can see. Now to finish up this machine, let's go ahead and place a piece of obsidian right here, because we do not want to make sure that that can push past this right here. And then we're going to take a hopper, place one here. I do recommend kind of just offsetting it right there, and this is going to be feeding it the potatoes. Now for the fuel line, you want to come in right here with the hopper right there. Now, just in case that your honey blocks moving forward are kind of messing up or destroying anything, let's go ahead and place a piece of obsidian right here. Nope, not there. Right here. There you go. Kind of maybe one right there too. And so now our system is pretty much complete. Like I said, you can come in here with your fuel line however you want. Just kind of separate it right there. You can, I do recommend having a bunch of chests right here filled with lava buckets. Like I said, basically one double chest of lava buckets will give you about 1 module. So, you know, if you were going to be AFKing for a while, you definitely want to have a few different chests set up here. And now to make sure that everything is working with this mechanism and everything here, let's go ahead and trigger this one more time. And then one more, and the redstone block will come up. Both conditions will be met, and it will then also activate this platform up here. As you can see, it is already pulling the new smoker right there. This right here is working just perfectly. It's pushing these smokers in line right there, and the machine is now complete. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my smart XP storage system. It will store the experience in each of these modules every 7.2 hours, roughly, give or take a few minutes. It can AFK and just sit there and let the storage build up in these little modules and have them at your disposal whenever you are ready to take the experience. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope that you have a blessed day.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.